Before we test, Rotarian, please all rise for the void test. The following test often we think say or do. First, second, third, fourth. Thank you, Mr. Stevens. Rotary song.
They are one, the spells Rotary. They are one, there's no dependency. From north to south, from east to west, they are the service. They are one, the spells Rotary.
Introduction with visiting Rotarian and guests. Can you pass? May we have you introduce our guest today?
Good afternoon. Let me introduce today's speaker and guest. Oh no, today no guest, only have a speaker. One. John, welcome. And our speaker, Herzner.
Thank you, people. Now I'm going to sing the visiting Rotarian song. Can I have John to stand up?
Yes, brother, we praise you. Yes, Rotary, we praise you. We want you to feel that our friendship is real. We are glad you're here today. So get back home to be a cheer. We got all the fellas here. And once more, you are here on home. Again, Rotarian, come again.
President time.
Thanks. We are still here after serious typhoon. I would thank you, our PP Sam, who is always supporting our act. Also, I have to thank our PP here. They always help us to our interact. I don't see high school interact club. We have our a young generation, and they did a lot of work. We have our students. And next, I have to thank our teachers. This year, we have our RI Rotary. We have a new regulation about new members definitions, and our individuals there are some new rules for our club, and that's what we discussed in the board members next year, and we will send some information for our club members, Rotarian, to discuss about new regulation and new rules. Oh, thanks.
Thank you, President. Secretary time. We do have our George Rotary Club Charter happening on 10th of October. So, group 4, please remember to attend if you have time. And we also have charter from Taipei Rotary Club is happening on 14th of October, which is Friday evening. So, if anyone would like to join, please register with Pembra. Okay, this program. Today we have our speaker, Mr. Robert Herzner. So can I have PP still to introduce our guest speaker today?
Good afternoon, Mr. Fire and Mr. President and fellow chemists. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to introduce to the speaker for this hot issues at the moment. First of all, I have to thank BG for referring this information to me. Mr. Herzner is currently the Deputy General Manager or the International Tower Limited, which is a service unit of German Trade Office in Taipei. And he's been with the German Trade Office in Taipei since the year 2011. And before he started his career in Asia, he first obtained his JD Economics Doctors from the University of Johannes University, Mainz, Germany. And then he started work for the Free State of India District Court and legal batteries, GmbH, and also August GmbH, Mainz, Germany, up to the year 2004. And then he went to Taiwan, his MBA from National Chinese University in 2006. And after that, he started his working experience in Asia. First one in HR Net 1 in Taipei, and also HR Net 1 in Beijing, and lastly with the Lumos Technology in Taipei. If you haven't read about this magazine that's published 2 months ago with Commonwealth in the 7月份杂志。And if you're thinking about this specific chart, I think you 赚到，今天赚到了。Because we got this person to talk about this specific topics. Last week I went to a seminar which is the speaker is Taiwan 金融研习院的院长黄博宏。He specifically mentioned about the Industry 4.0. He mentioned that the also as in the traditional industry look at the Industry 4.0. Explained in Mandarin. 看不到，看不清了，也看不懂了。目前我们都对工业4.0看法是这样，看不到、看不清、看不懂，到最后可能会得上。今天我们这东西我们要Mr. Herzner to share with us the German approach for manufacturing for tomorrow. Let's welcome Mr. Herzner.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction, President Fire. It's a great pleasure for me to be here today. You've seen from the introduction, and my background is not necessarily too technical, it's more on the business and legal side. The presentation has a lot of pages. I'm not going to run through everything because some of the applications are relatively technical, and before talking with many of you here today, I understand you have very diverse backgrounds. First, let me briefly introduce about the organization, what I'm working for, to the German Trade Office. This belongs to the German Chamber of Commerce Network. So in Taiwan, we are a private-public partnership. We have around 15 employees in our office in Taipei. 10 are Taiwanese, 5 are from Germany. So we help everything between Taiwan and Germany related to the business. Taiwanese companies going to enter the German market. This is also our biggest aspect for generating revenue, helping Taiwanese companies to be present at trade exhibitions in Germany. And of course, we also participate a lot of certain events to introduce German technology ideas. And currently, these are mostly 3 different fields. One is Industry 4.0. The other one is regarding the energy transition. Taiwan and Germany are both the only countries globally which are phasing out nuclear energy by 2020 or 2025 respectively. Both countries currently have around 15% generated nuclear energy and have changed this. So how can you do this? And the third part where we are a lot in contact with Taiwanese organizations and the government is about circular economy, which mostly applies to chemical plants. Industry 4.0, I believe, because not everybody here is running a factory, has not so much been in touch with this field, so I'll give later a more general overview. This term right now is good branding for Germany. This is what I can say. It's still at the early stage, but it helps to connect a lot of different organizations, countries, and so on with this kind of German trademark. Germany is definitely not the only country who's developing something like this. The first time I was in contact with Industry 4.0 was 1.5 years ago, when researchers from the German university Aachen, which is the leading technical university in Germany, were coming to Taiwan on behalf of the German government of research, because Germany has identified the top 10 countries globally they want to cooperate with in Industry 4.0. So this was the US, then in Europe, France and the UK, and then in Asia, Singapore, Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, and China. So these 2 gentlemen came in March last year to Taiwan, contacted our office and asked for help, who we can talk to in Taiwan. So I contacted a couple of organizations, and the interest level at this stage was not very high. And last year we had more delegations from Germany, experts, and also Taiwanese media published more articles about Gong visiting in, and it really increased, accelerated a lot, and which also gave me the opportunity, because you would always have an expert from Germany to speak, represent at various different locations about Industry 4.0. So, first, before going directly into the topic, a little bit about Germany and Taiwan. I gave the example regarding the energy transition, some other aspects to compare. So Germany is roughly 10 times larger than Taiwan. We have roughly 4 times more people, equals to a density in Taiwan, and Taiwan is one of the most densely populated countries in the world, probably everybody knows, so it's 1/3 of Taiwan, and the GDP per capita is roughly double this size. Between Taiwan and Germany, we have a bilateral trade of roughly $15 billion US. This equals that Germany for Taiwan is the #1 in the European Union, and Taiwan is for Germany in Asia #5 after China, Japan, India, and South Korea. So we can say that Taiwan is definitely very, very significant for Germany. Top industries, machinery, automotive, chemical, and of course semiconductor, ICT. Going into Industry 4.0, the expression started first 5 years ago at the Hannover Messe. Basically, looking at the strengths of the German industries, it's logistics and production. Germany is not good in semiconductor, and we're not good in digitalization. So Merkel here sparked this expression that in the future, if we combine our strengths, manufacturing and logistics, together with digital technologies, branding this Industry 4.0, that Germany has a chance of taking the lead. So here actually what I'm going to share a little bit, how is it implemented in Germany, briefly about the development of what the German government is doing, then various developments and applications, and then an outlook. The presentation will be available. You can share it with you virtually, and also we will upload it to our website. So some of the definitions I'm not going so much into detail. We're talking about business on a broader scale. What are the ways to increase growth? One aspect is organization. You bring more people together. Another aspect is increase workforce. And the third one is to increase efficiency. Organization is a trend. We're going to talk about increased workforce. In advanced countries, there's only very, very limited opportunity to either bring more people working on something or to elevate the skills of the workforce, because like in Taiwan, where we have, I think, around 80% of the graduates have university degree, it's difficult to upgrade this. So if you want to increase output and increase growth, it's about increased efficiency, and that's the point where Industry 4.0 is about. Also talking about global trends, I mentioned that Germany is looking to upgrade it, and here in the broader context, globalization, sure, everything is getting connected, climate change might be up to increase, demographic change, the age group above 65 is growing double in others, urbanization, 5 billion people living in cities, and digital transformation. By 2020, we will have around 50 billion devices connected. So this is something companies are facing, how to react to this. Going back a little bit into Germany, our industries have the reputation traditionally for being very research-driven, innovative, high level of engineering. On the other hand, if you manufacture in Germany, it's expensive. Salary is relatively high, utility costs, electricity, water, and also we do not have raw materials. So Germany went through the last financial crisis relatively good because we are not depending so much on the financial service industry. We have a lot of manufacturing in Germany, and we want to keep this. How can you do this? Is by constant upgrade and increase. So this important aspect here is digitalization and creating a new way of production. A couple of aspects I will repeat, and one aspect here is about people. Even if we digitalize the factories, we still have employees within the factory. And in Germany, we have a relatively strong unions and educated workforce. So you have to help the people to understand that with Industry 4.0, with Industry 4.0, it's for the better of the work conditions for people. So far, Industry 4.0 has implemented, and right now is the third year, and we already see a lot of economic benefits in Germany across different industry sectors. So I'll leave the numbers to you see yourself. We have an additional revenue between 2 and 5%, which relates to significant productivity gain. And the sectors here with mechanical engineering or food industry are very, very different. Industry 4.0 basically can apply in most industries where you produce. So what is the structure in Germany? We have started an Industry 4.0 platform from the German government within 2 ministries, the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Research. It's very similar to the structure in Taiwan, where you have the Ministry of Economics. So where you have the Ministry of Economics and the Ministry of Science and Technologies. Within this platform, you have various different groups. This is from the industry, this is from research. And these groups then build different working groups or teams to discuss various aspects. These are the major, let's say, stakeholder. I'm looking more or showing just one example is business. So we have a selected number of companies which are in this steering group. They are not all from, let's say, automotive, mechanical engineering, or software side. We have companies which do very special things, like Giesecke and Devrient. They make notes and passports, so the security papers, basically. And you see that with ABB and Hewlett-Packard, it's not also only German companies are involved in this platform to basically lay out the government strategy for Industry 4.0. It's a lot of integration of research institutes. Often comes here the question about the funding. So these research institutes receive certain government funding. Then they can also, similar to ITRI, if you have a company, they can provide contract work for you. So basically you can hire them. And a lot of companies have joint development with these research institutes. The most famous definitely one is the oldest one, the Fraunhofer Institute. So then we know a little bit about what are the developments, a couple of examples, and also for some historical aspects for Industry 4.0. First one, it's concept, it's other products, and especially what I hear from researchers who went to China, that people said, like, build a factory for Industry 4.0. This is not possible. It's the manufacturing site itself, and especially integration via Internet of Things, smart technologies with suppliers and customers. So it's a concept. It's a concept of integrating, interacting, and merging. So at the end, you will have cyber-physical systems for the production, a cyber-physical production system. So it's integrating software, machines, and people. One aspect with this cyber-physical would be that if you produce, currently very often you have trial and error. You set up a manufacturing line and you will have you predict a certain outcome. Here you can create a digital twin. So you have your manufacturing site and you have this also completely virtual to kind of plan in advance the potential outcome. Here's just the definition. So integrating production and logistics with cyber-physical systems. Why is it called Industry 4.0? The first industrial revolution is mostly affiliated with the name of James Watt, so it was the usage of water and steam. It was started in England in the late 18th century and predominantly in the textile industry. The second industrial revolution, a very relevant example, the slaughterhouses in Cincinnati. So it was made possible with electric powered mass production, so basically a factory belt. The third industrial revolution becomes with automation and integrating IT in manufacturing. And now the first one, again, the word cyber-physical system, so that I have the real one and the basically virtual reality. If people ask about fifth industrial revolution, that would be only cyber, so you don't have anything physical now. So a little bit about the history of production. So I mentioned that first starts a little bit after the first industrial revolution. So at the beginning, let's say here first on the x-axis I have the product variety, so how many different products I could use. And here on the Y, the value per variant. So at the beginning, the manufacturing of 150 years ago, each product, because there was a lot of manual aspects included, had a very high variety, but they could not produce a lot of different ones. And later on with the manufacturing belts or conveyor belts, I could increase the volume significantly. Then we see here from 1913, the example is the Tennessee from Ford. In the code of Henry Ford, people can have the Model T in any color, as long as it's black. So there was no variety at all possible. This didn't change over the last 40 years, where companies were able to produce the volume per variety significantly. Major aspect, First World War, Second World War. So it was only relevant to produce weapons, uniform, and so on, and you didn't pay attention to customers' needs. Then after the World War, we have, for example, in Germany, when people, with the wonder of the recovery of the economy, people were able to afford a car again, and a lot of the examples here about cars, because it's the, let's say, most sophisticated, most expensive consumer goods. So people wanted to have different variety, different colors, seats, and so on. So it started with customized mass production. So I'm going down here again to have a lot of product variety, and I can produce this at a very small scale. Of course, if I have a high product volume for variety, it's easier regarding the cost. Then starting with the year 2000, internet came in, that people ordered the products online. The question is regarding smartphone for Africa. Countries like Africa or India, it's often said that more people have a smartphone access to internet than to water or toilets. So with this, of course, they can participate in what kind of products they want to have very easy. So what are the results of this? What the markets demand now? It's a much shorter product life cycle, and from the production to the market. Where often basically you have to anticipate before you produce what your customer wants, or you integrate your customer demand at the time of the manufacturing. So companies have to be extremely flexible, cost efficient, and I also see this as an advantage to Taiwanese companies, because Taiwanese companies are very often able to respond very fast to the demands of their customers. Plus, here companies often are able to produce at relatively small scale, so a smaller product volume. So they should be able to react to these criteria of their customers. This is a video from a factory in Germany, from Siemens.
And the factory of the future, both the workpiece and the machine will be intelligent. There will be complete networks to control production autonomously, and in a way that is more efficient and uses fewer resources than before. The possibilities are so vast and groundbreaking that many experts refer to it as the fourth industrial revolution, Industry 4.0. The first steps towards Industry 4.0 have already become reality. It all starts with mass production components becoming a unique item, with their purpose predefined at the outset. Because even before manufacturing, the component exists in virtual reality, including all information required for its production. But all the other necessary components also have to be mapped into the virtual world. They also get names and addresses and personal identity, so that they know where and when they are needed in the production line or process. Within this way, they are able to negotiate their way through the digital factory for kilometers before reaching their destination. Arriving at the processing station, the workpiece is identified and the machine pulls out in real time with all information needed for processing. After each station, the work gets checked automatically, either optically or by using their measurements. Deviations from target specifications can thereby be discovered on the spot, and faults can be eliminated quickly. If a machine needs replenishment or maintenance, issues an appropriate request before shortages or breakdowns are experienced. The amount of resources used is immediately recorded in the system, and stocks get updated. During processing, all relevant data of the product is stored in its own digital product memory. This means that every stage of production can be traced precisely. In the factory of the future, machines and workpieces will even communicate directly with each other and make autonomous decisions about the next production step, comprising a system that is decentralized, efficient, and flexible. For this, so-called cyber-physical systems are the key enabling technology. But for all this technology, humans are still crucial. Even in a highly automated production environment, creativity, experience, and the ability to assess and evaluate situations remain irreplaceable. But technology can provide valuable support. Operating safe control systems already allow automatic and manual production to be combined. And regarding quality control, employees use augmented reality to determine whether the product meets the right quality standard and can be shipped to the customer. Electronics and software allow for ever higher levels of networking to be reached. Completely new, complex systems are being developed in next to no time. The German electronics industry is at the heart of this rapid change with its own innovative products. Some important questions need to be resolved before factories become truly smart, including topics such as standardization and IT security. Yet the opportunities provided by Industry 4.0 are enormous. Productivity can be increased by up to 30%, and both the quality and diversity of products will significantly rise. At the same time, the period between development and production will shorten. Thus, Industry 4.0 will make a decisive contribution towards maintaining and improving Germany's competitiveness as an industrial location center.
So this one factory, it's we call it a pilot plant, but it's exceptional.
Factory.
This factory exists for 10 years. The total investment is around 100 million euros. And for the outcome, they have now 75% automated process, quality of over 99%. And the workforce, the number of employees in the factory has not changed, but the output has increased by 5 times over the past 10 years. Another aspect with smart factories, for example, with more aging population or older workers, is that the access to the machines, for example, becomes in a more healthy way. So one aspect which we discussed before is that the employee has a chip, so when he goes to the machine, the machine knows exactly who's working with me right now and adjusts the height, for example. So this definitely can help people to feel more comfortable. Now a couple of examples. This one is an example from Taichung area. Hopefully somebody can read for me the Chinese name out of Paris. Maybe someone of you is familiar with this company. It's a 25-year-old textile company here in this area, and they are applying Industry 4.0 for this. They're working with SAP or SAP. So basically, it goes into 2 fields. One hand, the horizontal integration of their different manufacturing, so the spinning, weaving, for example, and this one they also integrate vertically with the different functions like administration, finance, logistics, and so on. Why they have to do this? Textile industry, first industrial revolution, is a very, very old traditional industry, and it's still an important industry in Taiwan, and it's also relevant to Germany. We are not producing textiles anymore, but Germany is globally #1 exporter for textile machinery. So we see here how over the time an industry changes. Beginning we had weaving mills and so on. We had a lot of workers in the factory for textile and mostly about clothing. And right now we have a lot of technical textiles, for example in carbon or in the planes, so the fiber for the windmills. Then here we have the rooftops. So for this, of course, you need totally different technologies to apply this. Another aspect is in the chemical plants. So we have, of course, petrochemical, very basic, polymer, later on specialty chemicals. If you want to have plants more environment friendly, and this is also an aspect here in Taiwan, of course, where people live close to the chemical plants. They are not interested in having the pollution. The companies have to expand the plants. So Industry 4.0 here helps if you combine the different manufacturing steps. Very simple example is in one manufacturing step, maybe I generate heat, and the other one I will need heat, so I combine this and not waste it on one side, have to produce it on another part within the plant. A very important aspect about food, we're getting more and more people globally. A lot of food is wasted. Some is wasted because it's not stored, some is wasted because it's not eaten, some during the logistics. So if I can trace the food, I can decrease this and can make sure that more and more people and globally have sufficient food. A simple example of what's going to happen sooner or later. Before I went into a store and I bought my toy. Right now I can download from Ford, for example, for these little cars, the 3D model, and if I have a 3D printer, I print it out. Easy. Maybe I pay a license for this. In the future, if I have the IP for this, or the CAD for the printing, I can print everything or scan it. Why would I buy a product anymore? How can a company avoid that people copy or duplicate the product numerous times? For this, there's no solution yet. If you're looking about the online age, the most affected one was media. Less and less people buying the newspaper, and the entertainment, movie, music industries, which completely changed. Other industries have not been affected like this, or I haven't had a lot of changes. And with 3D printing, it's very possible that this will change. I just print my spare part. Why should I buy a new one? Most of the manufacturers' spare parts are coping with this idea. Here's some examples between Germany and Taiwan for Industry 4.0 in a broader aspect. One is with BMW and Foxconn. So in the automotive today, of course, have more and more chips, and Foxconn basically makes the handling of the car smart. Here that I can control from this chip. I can connect it potentially to my smartphone. I can control a lot of aspects in the car about the seats, the air condition, or if I don't know where my car is on a big parking lot, it directs me to it. Another aspect is with Audi. They cooperate with HTC. They showed this on the last Computex. So basically virtual test driving of the Audi cars. Of course, I can't have the feeling of accelerating, but if I wear the HTC Vive, I have an idea of the display of the Audi, how it looks like when I'm sitting inside. So with the very strong LCT industry in Taiwan, there are a lot of potential to work with companies in Germany who do not have this experience, like automotive industry. So coming to an end, one question is, will robots take our jobs? Yes, some will be replaced. Some people say that over the last hundreds of years, population always has increased, but there always were more and more jobs. Some new positions will be created, for example, for virtual reality, that you write the blueprint, the story for this. That definitely will be more in software. You have to maintain robots, and then some like a little bit weird jobs like urban farmer or people who have a little bit crazy hack. Another aspect about Industry 4.0 standards will be more and more connectivity between machines across countries. So to implement national law is literally impossible. So organizations have to agree on standards, and here from German perspective, we see yourself in a race together with the US and China. Here with the strengths, US definitely with Google, Microsoft, and so on, software, clearly. In Germany, we have corporate software, mechanical engineering, and China, of course, the manufacturing, and the biggest market. Another aspect is cybercrimes, how to cope with this. Last but not least, at the beginning, I mentioned 5 years ago, there was an idea to introduce this through 4.0, and after the last Hannover Messe, it's clear it has arrived on the global agenda, so it's not a vision anymore, it's reality. So Industry 4.0 is also a little bit about time management. I hope I'm within the half an hour, and that's it on my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Do we have any questions would like to ask our speaker about this topic today? Any question? No? Can I have President Fire to show appreciation to our speaker today?
Thank you.
Robert, now we have a tenders report. Can I have a data?
I appreciate our PPT's arrangement. We have, I think, all members present. Today, we are very lucky to hear such a wonderful speech today that brings such advanced knowledge for us. 10 years today, we have 16 represent and 1 visiting notarian and 1 guest. So the total attendance is 59% today. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, President. Now we have Berto to have our Sergeant report.
Good afternoon. Donation from very useful information and introduction, industry 4.0. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you for your attendance.